Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. Today we're going to take a look at a puzzle, and it's up to you as the GM or DM how you set it up. In my campaign, the adventuring party is tracking down and on the tail of a evil dwarf, and have tracked him down to a certain part of the dungeon, and they just watched him run through the door. But they've got to be careful because they might wind up in the Dwarven Gas Chamber. In the puzzle of the Dwarven Gas Chamber, this is how I've got it set up, and you as the GM or DM can definitely just take the idea and create it to how you think would work really well in your campaign. But this is the way I'm going to use it. Now, our adventuring party has entered this room here, and they can see to the south they have some stairs going up, and to the west they have a door. Now, I will probably have it that they were chasing someone, so maybe since this is the puzzle of the Dwarven Gas Chamber, maybe there's an evil dwarf that they've been chasing, and they watch him run through this door. Now, if the party runs through it, this door is not locked, and they run through it, they're going to get right about here, and they're going to see that dwarf or whoever they were chasing gasping for breath and starting to just look like they're imploding, and they're like maybe didn't even make it in that far, maybe about that far right there, and they can see him just struggling for life. Now, if the party comes in, immediately they're going to feel the wrath of a poisonous gas, and it is thick. They cannot see it in here, but this poisonous gas is thick. But it also seems to contain and stay in this room quite well, but it's starting to seep out if they leave that door open too long. So if the party comes in here, immediately make a saving throw, a fortitude saving throw. And we'll probably include some kind of constitution damage, or maybe some spores getting in their lungs, but this is a nasty poisonous gas. So common sense is as soon as they come in here and take their first breath is they want to get the hell out of this room. And probably shut the door so none of this leaks through. Now, our person that they were chasing is not going to live very long. And in fact, before even they shut the door, they can see him just, keel over. Now, the puzzle part of this room is if the adventuring party goes south, and it goes upstairs and up some more stairs to this room here. Now, the only thing in this room is along this north wall are 8 valves. And if you can imagine a circular valve that you can grab a hold of with both hands, and in fact it seems to be into place, but the party can look at it with maybe some kind of engineering check or something of that nature, but they can see where they could pull the valve out just a little bit and rotate it 90 degrees. What they can also see as each valve has a red arrow, and each one, that red arrow is pointing to the left. This is the default position of our puzzle. And what these valves are they feed the gas into this room down here below. But what our party might not have figured out either is if they rotate one of these valves and stick it in the wrong position, then some of this gas may come into here. Now, hopefully, before the party gets to this stage of your dungeon, they may have found a book, and maybe it was a dwarven book that someone dropped. Maybe it was this guy here, when they were chasing him, he dropped it, or someone in the town, or hopefully they've come across this book before they get to this level of the dungeon. Or maybe they haven't found that yet. And if they start twirling these valves around, this poison gas is going to start coming out and affecting them. And again, we're going to need to go into fortitude saving throws, and they're going to start taking some constitution damage or poison or things of that nature. So 2 ways you can run it. They've either already found the book, and this is where they get to put it to use, or they haven't found it yet. Up to you. So here is the 8 lines and the riddle and the answer that I have, and I'll put this in the notes below if you'd like to use it, or maybe you'd like to come up with your own book that tells them what direction these valves need to go into. But for mine, I'll read line 1. The dwarf walks up to the bar for a drink. Now there is a direction in there. The dwarf walks up to the bar for a drink. So valve 1 needs to be rotated into the up position, where the red arrow is facing up. He raises his glass to his fellow soldiers. Raises is a synonym for up. So this valve needs to be moved to the up position. Don't let your heart sink. Our battle was well fought. Sink could mean to lower or to go down. So this valve here, once the party figures out the synonym for sink is down, needs to be rotated down. Let us down our ale for our fallen friends. The word down is in that line, so this valve needs to be rotated down. There are still enough of us left to finish our task. The direction word left is in there, so they need to rotate that valve left. But since they're all in the default of left, that one can be left alone. We will claim victory for the righteous and the worthy. Now in this one, righteous has the word right, so that one needs to be rotated right. In the past, we would have left this alone. Again, the direction word left. So this one can be left alone. But now, we must do what is right. Again, the direction word right is in the last line of the puzzle. So if the party rotates this to the right, that will be the answer. And now, when my adventuring party does this, they're going to hear, I'll probably have it where they're hearing hissing sounds of gas everywhere, and then it'll all stop once they get the last one in position. Or maybe they'll hear clanking noises and realize that they have solved the puzzle. So the correct answer, according to my riddle, the way I put it, is rotating the valves up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. And for those of you that know what the Konami code is, that's an Easter egg for the Konami code. So up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. The adventuring party can now go back down here because the gas is now off. They can go through this door, continue on with their mission. So that's the puzzle of the Dwarven Gas Chamber. And again, when the party first encounters a gas, I'm not trying to kill any of the characters or make them where they can't do anything or something like that. Especially if they run into the gas chamber, I just want them to know that, it just takes their breath away immediately. And if they don't hightail it back, they're going to be in trouble. And again, if they hadn't found the Dwarven book with the riddle in it, and they go up and they just start, turning valves, pulling them out, turning it to the left, turning it to the right, and putting them into position without any direction just to see which way they go, then that poisonous gas is going to start filling the room and maybe the entire chamber, maybe the entire dungeon if they don't put it back to the default mode. So in my campaign, I will probably have them have the book first, and then they can just pick the directional words out of each line there. And again, that's in the show notes below, so if you want to use my riddle, feel free to. And I really enjoyed using the Konami cheat code. If you ever played Nintendo before, that was used before starting Contra to get 30 lives. And actually, you couldn't beat the game of Contra without the cheat code. If you did, hats off to you, because that's very, very hard. Contra is a very hard game, so using the cheat code. Well, anyway, this is a D&D video, so again, I really enjoyed putting the cheat code in there, and I think a few of my players will probably like, oh, Easter egg, so Anyway, that was the Dwarven Gas Chamber. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can use it in your campaigns. If you do, let me know how it goes. If you do something different or find a better way to do it, I'm always interested in hearing that, so please put it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the puzzle and want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, on to the next.